If there's one thing I love about the Switch, one thing in particular, it's been a kind of gateway for me into many new franchises I've never tried before. And so earlier in the week, when Cooking Mama got rated by the Australian and the German's rating board, I was like, this could be a new thing for me to get into. So my plan was to grab those details, bring them back to myself, find out what this is, and then share it with you guys, because you guys might want to know as well. That kind of changed. I'm still going to be sharing the details with you, but things have taken a cruel twist of fate here, because later in the week, we got a press release that was not great. It went on about blockchains, and as you guys probably know, they're kind of involved with cryptocurrency. So instantly, it was setting off red flags in my mind. So now I'm thinking, what have I got myself into? Actually, funny twist here. The press release was from back in February. It just kind of went unnoticed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down what this press release kind of detailed and what it means. Although it's strange because normally these things are given to help kind of break down the details, break that barrier to entry to know what things are like. This kind of put up its own barrier that now I have to break down for us. It's weird. So it starts off pretty harmless, which is actually something that might be kind of exciting for some people out there, and also kind of funny, which we'll get into. So it reads, new to Cooking Mama will be a vegetarian mode where players who do not wish to prepare meals with meat ingredients will be able to cook creative, alternative, meatless meals. Players will be able to cook in both traditional mode and vegetarian mode. So that's good news for some players, although what makes this extra funny is that Peter actually released a game a little while back, a game that was titled
Cooking Mama, Mama Kills Animals.
So of course, that made headlines, and then Majesco responded for Mama and said, Mama would never put rat in my ratatouille, and it's claiming that they just want people to leave the table well fed. As if completely expected, they came off looking worse. The strange thing is, was this their plan all along, or were they simply bowing down to Peter and saying, I'm sorry that we didn't have vegetarian options? Either way, it's a good thing. Vegetarian mode, I mean. They've always had options. Now, prepare to get uncomfortable, because things get a little hairy here. So the new publisher, who is called Planet Digital, they're blockchain powered. Now at first, you may have been as confused as I was. What's blockchain powered? What does that even mean? I mean, I didn't know. And so let's get into this first statement here, and then we might be able to start breaking down what exactly that could mean here. We're using blockchain to add innovative gameplay that investors can now have equity in. Putting aspects of Cooking Mama on-chain will take the user experience to a whole new level, reinvigorate a popular game franchise that many grew up with, and give investors an opportunity to make handsome returns through a digital preferred share offering. Oh, that is some mumbo jumbo if I've ever heard it. So let's start with blockchain here, because what blockchain is, it's just a way of protecting data so that it can't be altered. Think about it this way. Cryptocurrency is like a packet of data. If that could be altered, well, we have a problem. So by using blockchain, you create ways to move these packets of data along the chain without it being altered. Which, as you can imagine, when it comes to money, it's pretty important. Now, the problem with this last statement is it's talking to both the users, or us, as well as the investors, which comes across very confusing. One minute, they're taking the user experience to a whole new level, and the next, they're giving investors opportunities. A normal press release for Cooking Mama should be talking about eating, not equity. So if their statement is true here, and it's better for the user and the investor, the question is how? And we're going to keep reading to kind of find out. Quick side note here, this is not the full press release. I'm taking snippets from it. If you want to read the whole thing, I'll link it below. Okay, back to it. Now, here's one of the features. Unique blockchain private keys. Each purchased copy of the game will have unique IDs, which will be managed directly through the game's internal wallet storage. Players will be able to focus on Cooking Mama's user experience rather than the cryptographic key management. I don't know about you guys, but I am just so sick of having to focus on my cryptographic key management. Okay, apart from that ridiculous last line, it does have a bit of a point here. So each copy of the game will have an ID linked to it, as well as an internal wallet. And that's important here because they're referring to the actual physical cart or the actual digital product and not an account that you have. In other words, if you bought a physical cart and you'd earn in-game currency and whatever else on that, I don't know what the deal is yet, but if you earn anything on it, it is attached to that cart. Not your Switch, not some sort of online account, to the cart. It will start to become more obvious at this stage why they're using blockchain so that things can't be altered because all of a sudden we're dealing with things on a cart, and if you could alter that cart, well, you could alter the value of it. Or digital. Game. I'm just going to insert this in here because this is something really relevant to what we're just talking about now. There was a game called CryptoKitties, and what this game did is it allowed you to breed cats, like virtual cats, not real cats. Now, they did something similar to Cooking Mama. You can kind of imagine how a cart could be worth more. It might have a $100,000 mama on there. Anyway, back to Eric, who's not wearing a jacket. Now, this next quote kind of doubles down on what we just said and also opens up a new can of worms, and you're going to find out. The next factor here is private key enabled balanced DRM. Traditional DRM limits the ability to copy game, while private keys on blockchain protocols allow easy registration. These combined with items provide greater proof of ownership to legitimate owners, while also allowing them to resell games both digitally and in traditional retail outlets. So you understand the DRM. It's there to stop players from pirating and do whatever so that you can't resell a non-legitimate version of this. But the reselling, that's where all of a sudden this gets spicy, and I'm like, what? What do you mean reselling? Because they're talking about physical cards, reselling your physical card and digital products. Not just physical, but digital as well. How? I don't know. Like, I don't believe you could do this on the Switch. I don't know of a way they could implement this, but that's what they're touting here. It even gets a little bit more strange here, because if you're reselling a physical good that has in-game stuff that's worth more, is that cartridge now, is that worth more? Could I pop down to my local GameStop, pick up a second-hand cartridge, and then go resell that online because it had a $1,000 hat on that? Who knows? Maybe. Can you get different hats in Cooking Mama? So let's get into one more quote here, one more factor, before we get into what the game actually is. Not that we know much. Digital assets rewards recognition. Users will be rewarded in in-game currency or earn recognition and certificates. These can be provided by the game, other players, or third parties that host tournaments or other promotions. Okay, I'm not going to claim to know what any of that means, but earn in-game currencies and earn recognition? Red flags, everyone. It has me worried. Let's leave it there. It has me worried. I'm going to leave the block chat there. I'm going to leave you guys to decide how you feel about all this. Personally, I've never been this worried about blocks since digging straight down in Minecraft. And to me, this all sounds like this is how we're going to increase profits, not how we're going to increase the user experience. I'm still waiting for that press release that tells me how are they increasing the user experience. As far as what Cooking Mama is, I don't know, short 10-second-ish mini games that are based around cooking, and they started to implement some more stuff in the later games, but we're going to have to wait and see for this one because, hey, we don't know that much. Alright, I'm going to go find something that's actually fun to talk about, not blockchains and cryptocurrencies, because that's a thing that I had to talk about today. But if you enjoyed today's video and you liked keeping up to date with upcoming games, hopefully that looking better than this one at the moment, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the like button. Be very much appreciated. And remember, for great Nintendo entertainment, you, I think, can count on me. I don't know about you, but I'm sick of all that cryptographic key management. I'm so sick of cryptographic key management. And say cryptographic.